Hello. This is Billy Borrow, and am here to talk about Task 6, about my cutscene presentation, and how the pitch went, and the review on the slideshow itself. So, right now, the improvements what I had to do for the slideshow was to change the PEGI rating to 18. Let's go to that right now. And as you can see, pretty much I have changed it to PEGI 18 as the age rating, because before it was 16 and it was too low because of the gore what would be inside the scene itself, and yeah, really it'd just be too gruesome for children of 16. I've explained why. For example, the cutscene itself is going to have a lot of gore of someone exploding from the outside of the train to the inside of the train, and maybe a bit too much for 16-year-olds. Let's go further down onto improvements. Pretty much, next I will add a mood board, pretty much, because before, let me try and get it up really quick. Because before I had no sort of mood board where it would be going through the whole story and everything, and I wouldn't really have any reference, so that was a really good point. So I've added a bit of a mood board of outlining what sort of game it would be, and what it would look like, really. For example, the Grim Reaper game, where you can investigate and unlock pieces of dialogue, pretty much that sort of thing, and game puzzles, and that's sort of that sort of aspect. Dystopia from Cyberpunk, one recent game, pretty sure, investigation and overall objective. The next one was visual aspects, as you could see in the mood board. It pretty much shows that, and what it would look overall. Description of the audio itself. As you can see, I've expanded on the actual soundtrack and what sort of instruments I would use, like, for example, pianos and drums. Because normally in detective games, they normally have like some sort of piano or drum sort of system to sort of like make it dramatic, or to make the person tense when playing the game, and sort of ambient sort of ideas like explosions, police sirens, and school chatting, train tracks, sort of normal sort of things. Full names on the mocap actors and the voice actors for the cutscene. So if I quickly go over to Task 6, and as you can see that I've added the full names: Ben Reeves, Harry Herbert, and Billy Borrow, to every single bit of the call sheet. And very important, just for the reason to remember the people you get put into your cutscene for the most part. And VFX into storyboards, and pretty much improving the storyboard overall. For example, I have color coded the actual characters now. So, for example, this was completely in black and white, 100%, and added in little arrow sort of effects where the people on the train will be going, and where the actors will have to move from. The sort of explosion also. And just to compare it, as you can see, black and white. This one was the one before, and the one here is the new version, where it's coloured in sort of the main characters, the red sort of colour, the police guy yellow, and the boy over here who's in green to sort of colour code it, and his father over here who's in a sort of grey sort of look, because he's not as important as the other characters in the story. As you can see, as I was talking before, there's someone who explodes on the train, and that's him. So yeah, that's about it of the improvements. Really, the whole slideshow itself really just did well. For example, I started off with this slide right here, talking about the story and everything, and how it what the story's about. So, for example, Kay is just a normal person, and is going to school one day, and is travelling on a train. Someone steps off the train and blows up the whole thing, and she's caught in it, and a police guy saves her, and she's recruited to go to this Brotherhood school, who is one of the religious groups who may be in charge of all these bombings, because it's in a sort of dystopian sort of society where I think like 10 years before the actual book itself, a whole city just like got bombed to hell, and they had to make a new city. The actual sort of visuals of the actual character, that was very helpful to sort of just show that. Target audience itself was well done. The actual story and what sort of gameplay, the genre. Mood board didn't have that in. Outlining the sort of game itself, the cutscene, how long, what should be in it, and everything. And why one of us. What was a good point in the slideshow, because why would you pick something? Why? Because it's an interesting story, and personally I think people would be very interested in this sort of story, because there are plenty of people who would have seen some sort of dystopian sort of not dystopian, sorry, something bad in their life, really. Everyone's seen that. What I will need is like source props and everything like that, but also props what I would make myself, and any audio and scripting for the actual game itself, and the cutscene. The sort of props in the actual cutscene and game itself. Of course, this wasn't in. Visual effects, the timing, what it's going to be, and everything about the VFX. The character visuals, the storyboard itself, detailing the actual VFX itself, what the characters are doing, and everything. The set design, this was very good to have in the slideshow, purely just to sort of know what's going to happen and what it's going to sort of look like. The creator itself, the legal side, of course, and the ethical side, what I have improved. It was a little bit weak, personally, when it was 16 rating, and I think that kind of brought it down at the end, because this was one of the last slides what I showed. What sort of brought it down, especially because ending right here. And then personally just like showing off the shooting script and the calling script itself and everything. And really, that's pretty much the end. Anyway, this has been Billy Borrow, and I will see you.